Hello children. In this video lecture, we will understand about punctuations. What is punctuation? To understand the importance of it, compare the following two sentences carefully. Raghav, said the mother, you have forgotten to do your homework. Raghav said, Mother, you have forgotten to do your homework. Suhani, said the father, is very hardworking. Suhani said, the father is very hardworking. Words used in both sentences are the same, but their meanings are quite different. The second sentence in each group appears absurd. This is because of the punctuation marks used in the sentences. We see that the omission or the wrong use of the stops may altogether change the meaning of a sentence. Thus, punctuation marks are very important in writing. Thus, punctuation is the art of using the proper marks, stops, or points in the correct places in composition. We use stops or marks of punctuation to separate one sentence from another or one part of a sentence from another part. When we speak, we do not go on speaking continuously and in the same tone we use while speaking. Even our pauses are not of the same duration. Some of them are short while some of them are very pretty long. And sometimes we raise our voice while at others we lower it. We lend a particular quality of voice to the same words to convey a particular meaning. Marks of punctuation perform the same function as pauses and stresses perform in speech. Children, remember that a wrong mark of a punctuation or the absence of a punctuation mark where there should have been one would convey a wrong meaning. So be careful of it. So now we'll understand the main marks of punctuation. Here are general rules given of each and every punctuations one by one. So first is full stop. Full stop or periodic indicates the longest pause. Means you need to pause for a little bit for a more time, little bit for a long time. It is used to close a statement or any command or any sentence. You can say in common words. Examples are oceans are full of water. Do a kind deed every day. Second use, we after initials and abbreviations, we use full stop. Mr. S.K. Agrawal, Mr. Surendra Kumar Agrawal, PM Prime Minister. In modern English, full stops are often omitted in abbreviations. The USA and the USA are both acceptable. Similarly, UNO and UNO is both acceptable. Now third uses to indicate a decimal fraction which we use commonly and you are aware of it. Next punctuation mark is comma. The comma indicates the shortest pause between words. It is used to separate words in series. Examples: the food they served was delicious, nourishing and cheap. We bought apples, oranges, bananas and grapes. The children laughed, danced, jumped and cried for joy. Children, note that before the last word which is preceded by and, we have not used a comma. Remember that thing. Second use, to separate phrases in series. Examples: standing or sitting, eating or drinking, sleeping or walking, he is always thinking of his past. High and low, rich and poor, wise and foolish, all practice the tricks of the joker. Third, to separate short clauses in series. Examples: I do not know who he is, how he got in, or why he is here. Second, when the hauling stopped, we ventured out from the cave. Next use, to set off a noun of address. May I have something to eat, mother? Doctor, the patient is serious. Mayank, come here. Next use of comma is to separate the parts of date from one another or any words following the date. On July 7, 2020, we shifted to our new home. The results were declared on 15th May 2020. Next use is to separate expressions like yes, no, oh, and well. Examples: yes, I will certainly come. Oh, I haven't got the letter. Well, I will see what I can do for you. Next use of comma is to separate expressions that are in opposition. Examples: Sri A.D. Rastogi, the chief secretary, was the chief guest. Mrs. Mukherjee, the new manager, is a very gentle lady. Kalidas, the greatest Sanskrit dramatist, was illiterate. Next, we use it to separate a question tag from a statement. This news is true, isn't it? You were not absent, were you? Mukesh drives smoothly, doesn't he? Children, you are very familiar with this kind of uses. Next, to separate a reported speech from the rest of the sentence. He said, we should learn from our mistakes. Mona says, Indu will meet me on Monday. She said, Rani is singing a nice song. Children, whenever a brief pause is needed to give greater clarity to our writing, we need to use comma. Examples: to prove my point, I produced a certificate the day after her grandmother expired. Third is semicolon. The semicolon marks a greater pause than that indicated by a comma. It is stronger than a comma but weaker than a full stop. It is used between independent clauses not connected by a conjunction. Examples: Rosie is quiet and hardworking. Ruchi is jovial and active. So many people, so many thoughts. It is used before such expressions as however, then, moreover, nevertheless, hence, thus. For instance, consequently, that is, therefore, if they come between independent clauses not connected by a conjunction. Examples: our principal insists on strict discipline, therefore I try to be very punctual. Next, you have already taken 3 days leave, hence you cannot be one leave tomorrow. Next use is to separate clauses, particularly if the clauses have internal commas. Examples: the family is going on a picnic. Father carries the rugs, mother the food, and the children the rest of the things. Next example: he was a kind, large-hearted man and we all honored him. Fourth punctuation mark is colon. The colon shows a greater pause than a full stop but a longer pause than a semicolon. It is used with a dash after it. As I have shown here with example of it, we use it normally, children. Now colon is used to introduce a quotation of speech. Examples: we all know the proverb, time and tide wait for no one. Second, Bacon says reading makes a full man, writing an exact man, speaking a ready man. We normally use colon before examples, enumerations, and explanations. Examples: some of the important towns of India are Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai. Second, the Hindustan Times says 17 killed, 80 wounded, and 50 arrested during Gujarat riots. We use it to separate two sentences when one is used to explain something in connection with the other, as study to acquire a habit of thinking, no study then that is more important. Second example, I can't eat the rice, it is underboiled. We use colon to separate two contrasted sentences, as examples are given here. To err is human, to forgive divine. Man proposes, God disposes. Fifth punctuation mark, the mark of interrogation. The mark of interrogation is placed at the end of an interrogative sentence. You know it. Examples: are you sure this news is true? How old is he? However, at the end of an indirect question, we use full stop. Remember well, children, this thing. Example: I want to know how old he is. The mark of interrogation should be used after a polite request if the form of the sentence is interrogative. Examples: will you fetch me a glass of water? Would you mind occupying the next seat? Next punctuation mark of exclamation. The mark of exclamation is used after interjections, exclamatory phrases, and exclamatory sentences. Examples: bravo, hooray, alas, oh dear, what a child, terrible, how wonderful, what luck, long live the king, what a fine day it is. It is also used in place of a comma after a vocative when it is emphatic. Example: stop, don't drink. Seventh punctuation mark is the apostrophe. It is used to form the possessive of any singular noun. We add an apostrophe and s to the noun. The girl's dress, Sonali's books, Suhas' bat. To form the possessive of a plural noun ending in s, we add only an apostrophe. The boys' school, her teacher's influence, a lady's tailor. To form the possessive of a plural noun that does not end in s, we add an apostrophe and s. Children's programs, men's clothes, women's colleges. We use an apostrophe with expression of time, space, and money. 2 weeks holidays, a stone's throw, a rupee's worth. Of a plural noun that does not end in s, we add an apostrophe and s. Children's programs, men's clothes, women's colleges. We use an apostrophe with expressions of time, space, and money. 2 weeks holidays, a stone's throw, a rupee's worth. We use an apostrophe to make short forms. I will, it is, he doesn't, we call it a he doesn't, her does not. We use an apostrophe to form the plurals of letters, figures, etc. 2 5s, 3 MAs, 2 As. We don't use the apostrophe with these words like ours, yours, its, hers, theirs, and whose. Remember well, these children. Now, next is quotes and double quotes. Quotes or inverted commas occur in pairs and can surround a single word or phrase or a longer piece of text. Inverted commas are known as speech marks, quotation marks, or informal quotes. Pairs of quotation marks can be single or double but are never mixed. We cannot mix it both. Examples are Gopal said, I want to become a lawyer when I grow up. The speaker said, it is our duty to defend our country. Next, are you going to finish that? Shrey asked Felin. Next is hyphen. The hyphen is used to join the parts of a compound words. Examples mother-in-law, passerby, onlooker. It is also used to form compounds beginning with a few prefixes with ex, co, vice, non, self, etc. Examples are ex-principal, co-operate, vice president, non-violence, self-control. It is used to form compound fractions and compound numerals as 1/5, 2/3, etc. And the last our punctuation marks is ellipsis. Ellipsis is used to show a pause in someone's speech or thought. Example, I'm not sure. Maybe I will wait until later. It is also used to build tension. Example, a hollow scream pierces the silence. Next is to show that a sentence is not finished. Help. I think I'm going to. It is used to show a pause in speech. The sight was awesome. Truly amazing. It is also used at the end of the sentence to create suspense. Mr. Smith gritted his teeth, gripped the knife tightly in his right hand, and slowly advanced. So, these are the general rules, children, of punctuation marks. Remember well and write it in your notebook. We will do practice of textual sentences that I will provide you in my further classes. Thank you.